Hello, you lovelies, and welcome to Koicast. I am Koi Jandro, a Bostonian who loves pop culture, campfire, pizza, and most people. That was Campfire Jones, the lovingly enigmatic and vocal, also co-host of this very show. I am joined, as ever, by Campfire's owner and new brother, who's joining in right now. How you doing, Jake?
I'm good. It sounds like I'm a new brother. You didn't.
Oh yeah,
you
you're
didn't
the
really
new brother.
put
I didn't really
context
put the name of the new brother.
Campfire's brother bookstore just ran in.
Bookstore is the silent entry for now.
He's still quite barky. He's just not. He gets over it quicker.
Yeah, in that moment, it was a beautiful, quiet entrance. He was sleek. Bookstore Jones has this like
Bookstore Brown.
Oh, Bookstore Brown.
Yeah, they're their own men.
But I brothers, my brain put a last name.
They're
together.
their own men. Listen.
Campfire Jones, Bookstore Brown.
It all started with Cosmo when people would be like, "Oh, why doesn't Cosmo have your last name, Cosmos Jones?" I was like, "He's his own man.
He lives boldly.
He's my roommate.
You want me to
he's not my
marry
son.
him?
Yeah.
What do you want from me? What is this? Anyway, that was a dramatic entrance. I liked the music swelling as they came in barking because in my headcanon, it was way more intense.
Yeah, no.
I enjoyed that. So this is, we're recording a bit out of schedule because Jakey Jakes has a bunch of traveling ahead of him, which is exciting.
Let's see, this comes out on the 29th. So as you are listening to this, I am either having just arrived in New York.
Very exciting.
After driving across the entire country.
That is so cool.
For some reason.
I've only done that once.
Or I have been there for a day, depending on how the drive goes.
Are you taking the Dragon Wagon?
No, we are renting it.
Okay, because I was worried that would cost you roughly $5,000 in gas.
Yeah,
and the car exploding.
I love my Jeep, but a cross-country vehicle, it is not.
I also called you, and you were like, I literally can't answer the phone. So then I worried about your safety. Like, I had so many thoughts.
Do you know what it is? It's that the Dragon Wagon's, like, I have big mud tires on it. So it's a loud vehicle to be in. It just hums really loudly.
Right.
And every time I try to take a phone call in it, I'm always just like, I'm sorry, I can't hear what you're saying to me.
There was a few weeks you had to pick me up. Like, I remember it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I even have, like, the Bluetooth connection. I have a little microphone. And that helps a little bit. But we were also driving, at that point when you called us, we were on the highway. So it wasn't even like I was on side streets.
I was just worried about, like, 5 days of that. Like, I'm like, are you just going to be unavailable? And, like, what do you do? And, like, any of the,
Yeah, we're renting a more gas-friendly vehicle.
For the planet and for you.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's what's happening.
So that's to preface, we have some news, but it will be outdated by the time you hear it, but it's going to be news that's big enough to be evergreen adjacent, because I really want Jake's opinion on it.
Oh, there's nothing I love more than being asked my opinion.
Well, that's why we're here on a podcast, Jake. It's an odd choice to have a problem with opinion-based news content.
We should start, I mean, when I say we, you can't be involved. Neither can I, to be honest with you, but like just a podcast about pop culture where people don't actually have an opinion on anything.
They're just like actually neutral.
Yeah, everything is just sort of like, no, cool, yeah.
That's a fun concept broadly, and then just like imagine how like what does that land as?
It lands as being on panels and podcasts with people that you and I both know.
Oh, that's
which
real.
We have experienced.
Oh, good God, and recently. I think I can vouch for if I did like a sports thing, like that would probably be just me reading names that I can't.
I tried for like 2.5, 3 years. I tried to get multiple friends to start like a sports show on the network because it was like sort of it's a big gap.
But out here
in the programming,
who we got?
Well, no, I have tons of comedian friends who are like diehard baseball, hockey fans. But they're all just like, yeah, no, I don't. I like listening to people talk about it. I don't want to talk about it myself.
I mean, that's fair. It's as polarizing as Marvel DC stuff. Like, and that's exhausting. Like So one of the news things is as a tangent into the reality of the present. Shazam is doing even worse than expected, and I love the first Shazam. I've seen this new Shazam.
It's my single favorite DC movie of that universe.
Same.
It's my favorite single DC movie. It's not Batman.
Right. And for me,
I even like it. I know this is good. I like it even more than Watchmen, which I love very much.
Wow. See, I consider pre-2008 separate just for safety.
Because Watchmen still has its Zack Snyder fatal flaw of those alley fight deaths that ruin that undermine the whole thing, and I don't have a single flaw in Shazam. The first.
Oh wow!
Like it's such a great just feel good cry fest of a superhero.
It's so special
age story. It's so special.
Second one, good, not great.
Did not see it.
So
still haven't seen Black Adam yet.
I mean, yeah, you're only 3 behind. Like you haven't seen Antman either.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying counting superhero movies.
Yeah, we're it's
being what this show is. I'm counting it as 3.
Yeah, no.
But I think Shazam 2 is special, and it's still more special than a lot of the superhero films. But a lot of people are coming out of it, and I'm sure you've seen some of the stuff I've said that's gotten a level of vitriol. But like basically people aren't seeing it because of the reboot. So people are like, why would I see a movie if it's just not going to be connected? I'm like, because it's a movie. Like,
but also it is going to be connected based on everything.
The rolling reboot of, but
told.
now not. I don't. So the news is it's done so poorly. I think the people that wanted.
Okay, remember when I said to you when we talked about James Gunn announcement, how he was like, this is the movies that were already scheduled, and then these are my movies. And I told you I would not be surprised if that doesn't even happen.
So the rolling
that's
reboot,
what's happening?
It looks like it because
are they pulling the plug on Aquaman 2?
It'll come out, but I don't think it's going to tie into anything. This did so badly. This
really?
did. So Scream 1's opening day, a small budget film, Scream, $19 million opening day. Like that's a small budget victory.
Scream?
Like the newest Scream, Scream 6.
Oh, you said Scream 1. You meant WON.
Yeah.
One. Okay.
Sorry,
you were like
that's fair.
Scream 1 opening night. I was like, what the fuck are we talking about Scream for?
Scream 2023's opening night, $19 million.
Got it.
The awful bomb that was Ant-Man was like 30-something million.
All right, here's the problem is that people who listen to podcasts can't see that you did quotations with your hands.
Oh, that's real. I'm so used to YouTube that this guy's quotes. So Ant-Man also did badly.
Saying that Ant-Man didn't bomb, you said huge bomb in quotes.
Right.
It's clearly it succeeded.
It broke even at least.
Yeah.
Ant-Man's probably just going to break even, so it's a bomb for Marvel standards, but it's not a bomb compared to these standards.
Right.
This film, opening day, was only a little more than Scream, but it had 10 times Scream's budget, so this movie might be $100 million loss.
Wow.
So this movie cost $125 million. Which means it needs to make about 250, and in superhero numbers, that's nothing. Like nowadays, superhero movies.
I was gonna say, I'm actually surprised to hear that it was only 125.
It's only 25 more than the first.
That's interesting.
I surprised me because it looks way bigger.
It's also way bigger. Big cast.
Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu.
I think about the cast, and I go, the cast is expensive,
and it looks like twice the movie as far as scope.
Let's be honest, it's a big budget studio picture, so they probably didn't pay their visual effects people.
That's real. Or their talent. They'll be like back end. Now the back end's like, oh no.
Sure.
So 250, but it's not even going to clear the small list of modern budgets. Like I haven't heard of a superhero movie only needing to make 250 in 10 years.
Sure, yeah.
Because it's usually like you need to clear 600 million to be fine, and this is not clearing 250.
Yeah, it's just bad business.
Bad business. So what's tricky is the movie. I don't know how much you saw, so I won't ruin it for you.
I haven't. Really
Trailers and stuff came out giving away giant cameo.
I have seen that there are cameos. Well, and I'm going to now do air quotes for cameos.
Sure.
Because I've seen that some people are, quote, in the movie.
Yes.
Even though they were not, quote, there on set.
This is the best visual podcast you've never seen, listeners.
So I have seen some of that spoilery.
So that spoilery stuff is going, hey, it's in that universe you wanted to save. And then it's still people all over my socials. I can't imagine people actually involved with the movie going like, why would we see it? It's not connected to the universe we're in. And I'm like, they literally made it a trailer moment for you folks to realize it is that very thing. Like you're actively sabotaging your own quote unquote, your universe.
Yeah.
So it's real bad in these streets, is what I'm saying.
I blame everything on Zack Snyder.
Okay, so then did you see what he did this week?
All right, so I saw that he posted a video that's like a wedding invite, save the date.
Yeah, it is
which, by the way, nobody uses the phrase save the date for anything that's not a wedding.
Right. It's an odd choice.
What? Save the date? Also...
And it's 3 dates.
Tell me this dude, you know this dude has never watched pro wrestling, because this is such a pro wrestling thing that he's done poorly. So in pro wrestling, whenever like... It'll be like, oh, these strange and odd vignettes have been airing throughout this episode, and it'll just have like a date, and we all as wrestling fans get to speculate, oh, who is it going to be? Who's showing up? Or like, because of the style of it, is it somebody who's coming back?
And instead he just spells it out.
But it's like no. It's like, there's no, there's like a little bit of mystery, and there's also a little bit of like, like, oh, they like put some style into it, and like, but this is just like, okay, it's supposed to be Darkseid speaking.
Yep.
How do we know that?
It's Reporter's voice. It's Darkseid's voice, like the actor that plays Darkseid.
It's the actor's voice. Gotcha.
So I had assumed. What's funny is like when it was just the Darkseid transmission before they even showed Henry Cavill's face the next day.
I did not see the Henry Cavill part.
So they revealed the dates and then a picture of Henry Cavill no one had seen yet.
Okay,
So
I only saw the first one.
So the first one
I have been unplugged for the past.
So
4
the first one I thought would be really funny if it's literally about Rebel Moon, but it's like because Reporter's
Rebel
in
Moon
it.
is his new movie
in December. So I thought it'd be funny if he refers to the actor as Darkseid, but then it's literally a Rebel Moon ad. Like I thought it'd be great if he like was trolling his own fans of like a message from the guy that played Darkseid. He's in this new movie, and then I was like, that's at least like something cheeky. But then the next day it was 3 dates and then Henry Cavill's face, and then the next
3
day
different dates.
Yeah, it's over a weekend. It's like the end of the month of April.
All right, so I know exactly what this is.
I think they're re-releasing the 3 movies in theaters.
Oh no!
What do you think it is?
I think it's not even. You think it's bigger than that. This movie. They have lost so much money.
So much money.
They're not doing that.
But like they need money, so it's all profit at this point. Because they've made
they are gonna air the 3-part version of the Snyder cut of Justice League on a fucking television network.
He's gonna be like TBS.
Like
when they used
it's
to do
gonna or it's gonna be like, hey, let's see, Warner.
He's calling it.
It's not going to be fucking WB or whatever that became, CW.
Right. It's not going to be HBO Max.
I'm trying to think of what are their affiliates. Is
I don't know what
CBS?
networks even
CBS
exist.
is Paramount. I'm trying to think of what are the major television networks.
But CW and WB, I think, are the only ones that are direct.
So it'll be something like that. It'll be like, on Fox for 3 nights, we're going to air part 1, 2, and 3 of the Snyder. That's what I'm guessing based on what you just told me. No, based on what you just told me. Because I
don't think it's anything new, and everyone's like, they're going to let him finish. I'm like,
because that is the only way that they will make money without having to spend money.
Syndication.
Is just or just being like, we're gonna head and sell this 3-part to your TV network because TV is losing money, so TV will pay a little bit of something to have a special.
And now it's on HBO Max a year
to sell ad space on. Yeah, exactly.
So that was the big thing. So
that's
I'm like,
my guess.
While DCU is being built and while it's falling apart because of these people, then Zack Snyder comes out saying like, I've got a thing, and it's going to be such a letdown for his diehards. But the diehards will never claim that's a letdown. They'll never say it. They'll be like, oh my God, we got a new thing. And what's killing me is I like Zack Snyder the man. And that's what kills me is like the human being that he is kind and talented. But then like these things happen and I'm like, oh, you're making it hard, man. Like you're making it real hard.
Yeah.
So that happened this week. And it's been exhausting.
It's a little hilarious to me.
There's a cheekiness to it where like it's a lose-lose.
No. Okay.
For like the fans like that because they can't say he did something wrong because he's like a deity to them.
Right.
So I'm struggling because I like him and I can't condone this series of choices. But also then David Sandberg, the director of Shazam 1 and 2, had to come out and basically say like, I'm really excited to be done with superhero stuff because of the discourse and like I'm out of this game after this movie. Like he literally tweeted today or yesterday as of recording that like he's just looking forward to getting back to horror. And I'm like, man, horror discourse is rough. So superhero stuff's so rough that he's looking forward to getting back to that.
I don't think horror discourse is as
it's not to scale.
Well, no, because here's the thing is like the horror community are united and that they all love horror. They don't care if a movie that you like, they don't.
Sure.
Comic book fans, I almost said wrestling fans as a Freudian slip.
Yep,
they're the same. They're the exact same type of people. Where like if you don't like what they like, you are invalid. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I've finally been able to grow my TikTok because I've been doing brackets for Marvel movies and superhero movies where you like basically pick the winners by like tilting your head.
Yeah, I've seen those little games.
And I'm like, this is no thought from me and I don't have to make it. So, this is the point of TikTok for a lot of people is like the mindless videos. Because I always do like, I read 70 comics, I pick my top 9, I talk about them. That's a lot of work. And then it gets like 1,000 views.
Sure.
Whereas these brackets, I can do like nothing. And I literally put 20 seconds of my opinion in front of these brackets. But like the rage fuels the comments because everyone's so mad. I picked a thing.
You're
and I was like,
feeding our awful system. You're the problem. Fuck Zack Snyder.
But I'm only being positive in my reviews. Like I'm literally only, so like the other day I made one where I was like defending the fact that the Daredevil director's cut doesn't get enough love. And how I think that
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
But like the people like
I've never seen the original.
Great, live that.
I've never seen the
life.
theatrical. I only have seen my director's cut DVD.
That's great.
And I literally watched a movie and I thought like, why does everybody hate this movie? There are a lot of bad things in it, but there's like some great stuff in that movie,
especially for the time.
And then I found out like, at some point there's like a really awful romance scene that's cut. Yeah.
The studio notes are the other cut. And like that's the thing. Is like so basically I was saying that and then the rage of it. So I'm staying positive. I'm not doing the Snyder thing. I'm literally going like these have more merit and that's fueling all these videos. So I'm like, wait, I've figured out how to do my TikTok. I stay hyper positive about stuff everyone else hates and I let the comments go without me. But that's how much the angry internet has taken over even directors' like ability to make art. Yeah. And like it's been like the toxicity other than my burnout at the end of last year, I think is as bad or worse than it's ever been. Except I can see it while still having like I'm leaving that behind.
Well, in fairness to the toxicity from the Snyder Bros, they finally now have a a face and a name to blame.
Mm-hmm.
They were only ever to blame the faceless suits.
Yeah.
They didn't have a Feige ever.
Right.
To go,
now they've
his
got
fault.
2 people to point at.
Now they have 2 people to point at.
And one's on camera. So really one.
Exactly. One and a half. Well, they have one face and 2 names.
That's it. Yeah, they can tweet times 2, but they have to
nobody
hashtag
knows
one
what
of them.
Peter looks like.
Yeah.
It's his name, right?
Peter Stafford. They're like, that anomaly. He's the suit now.
If you saw him standing next to James Gunn, you'd be like, that's James Gunn and Peter Stafford.
I bet that's
but if
the
you,
guy.
If you just saw Peter, you'd be like, I have no idea who this man is.
Yeah,
I am sorry to this man.
He's great. He's very talented, but he's escaping a lot of vitriol because of his anonymity.
Yeah.
So the last bit of news, I'm sure you heard.
Well, wait, hang on a second. We never finished. That's what you think that it is? That it's a re-theatrical release?
I personally think they're gonna, because the Snyder Cut's never been to theaters.
Of Steel
v BVS
legal drama.
Batman versus Superman in court.
Murderer versus murderer. So it's murderer.
Yep.
Murderer versus murderer.
Mm-hmm.
Murderer's
League.
No. Murderer's League Snyder Cut.
Yeah. Ultimate Edition.
Wait. Zack Snyder's Murder League.
Which, by the way,
could be the name of any of his movies.
Oh, that's dark. That's real. I like that, but
because he has no subtext.
Guardians of Ga'Hoole, Murderers League.
We're all dead anyway.
Watchmen, Nihilism, Murderers League.
Zack Snyder, we're all dead anyway. It's on his tombstone.
I like what he describes his love of superheroes as, but then I never feel that context in them.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I get it.
I really appreciate the man. I just wish his art felt like how he was passionate.
Yeah.
And it's really hard.
He's like people that I know in life who are like really, they love filmmaking and they're not good at it.
Or they love filmmaking, but their films feel like they hate filmmakers.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Because it's not even just bad at it. It's like an anger. So the last it's 2 bits of news because they tie together. One, when speaking of the toxicity and the anger, this was literally breaking as we were setting up the audio tapes.
Okay.
Victoria Alonso, one of my favorite producers and a figurehead of Marvel for the last 17 years. She's been with Marvel since Avengers.
Okay.
Just unceremoniously left the company.
Unceremoniously? They did not throw her a ceremony.
They should have. Well, there was no preamble. There's no reason behind it yet. There's no usually there's an explanation or an announcement of another company.
Yeah.
Like there's usually like left for blankety blank. So when I say unceremoniously, I mean like she's been, I would argue, in the top 3, if not the number 2 to Kevin Feige of the company. For her to leave, that's crazy.
She was really excited about that Dark Side video.
And then here we are. She's like, I'm
going to go see what Zach is up to.
In theaters. I'm gonna be there. But yeah, Victoria Alonso also personally, she introduced the Doctor Strange films with me, and like her and I, like she's so incredible. She's she does the visual effects side of things, and she's had to deal with people being like visual effects are garbage, but also like not realizing that 80% of the shots they're not complaining about are also visual effects.
Right, yep.
So her and I have had some great conversations about like subtle visual effects versus the underpaid visual effects. And I think this is a very bad time for this to happen because this is the first time Marvel's shown like actual weakness. They're delaying stuff, they're pausing stuff, they're admitting things have gone wrong, their movies aren't doing well, and then also to lose your like number 2 or 3 at the company.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when businesses change and grow, and I think that Disney Plus threw everything that was working for them into a big, giant, tumultuous.
There it is.
Rat King ball.
Yeah.
Whereas the rats all used to walk in line in the sewers, and then they became that creepy Rat King ball,
like in The Thing.
And then all of a sudden, you just couldn't hack it no more.
And Bob Chapek, like that was rough. And now Bob Iger's back, but like if this is happening under Iger's, like that's tricky.
This is why I am now a huge convert of the disconnection, like.
In what way?
Of like
the universe.
Yeah,
I thought you meant in life. I'm like, me
no,
too, man.
like that's
I want to be
there's a reason why, like, you know, some of the best, and again, don't get me wrong, I loved Love and Thunder, and I love stuff that's our big carryover stories. I thought She-Hulk was fantastic with characters we've previously established, but like more Moon Knights, more Shang-Chi's, and also having the right directors, having the newer class people presenting something that people have not seen. You know,
that's why I think James Gunn's going to crush it, man. Because I think he's going to get really, really interesting directors and not have everything have to be connected.
He's also really good at hiding. Because here's the thing: you also just can't undo the formula. Everybody complains. All Marvel movies are the same. I have bad news for you. All movies are the same.
Right, and also when they try to do something slightly different, they get mad.
Yeah, get rid of Marvel in that sentence because all movies are the same, and it's good. It's good that they are to an extent.
Sure.
Because storytelling works in specific ways.
Yeah.
That's not to say that there aren't many different versions of stories to tell and that you can't have a truly unique tale.
Right.
But the reality is the best movies present you with something that might be formulaic in a way that you don't expect or that is still surprising. And that is what James Gunn does incredibly well. Finish any of his, whether it's a movie, TV program, the fucking Guardians holiday special.
You're emoting.
When it ends, you go like, yeah, that's exactly how that should have gone.
Right. And that's why him overseeing an entire universe gives me hope.
And so same, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like he's really good at presenting you the formula.
He hides the wires.
Without hiding the wires is a great way to put it. Yeah. And that's exactly.
Because there's always wires.
Yep.
They're hidden though. And we know there's wires, but we don't think about the wires because they're James Gunned. And that is the last bit of news before we get into some funness. He is officially directing Superman as well as writing it.
Yeah.
So I think this is great because of the way he announced it. The night before was the Shazam premiere, and I love that he didn't give that to some news story and let them run and like mangle it. He put out something in black and white. He put it on Instagram, and he told why he was doing it, because I think the biggest thing with this story is that we're worried about him burning out. We're worried about him doing too many things. And I think showing an emotional connection to the character is the only thing to go like, okay, now I'm intrigued and I'm a little less worried. I'm going to be worried, but at least now I know your reasoning behind it. Because everyone's going to be like, well, of course he's doing it himself because he wants to make sure, blah, blah, blah. But I think there's a heart to it that is Superman. Superman is all heart. So I love the idea of him connecting to his father by way of the script.
Also, if you want to draw the parallel to Marvel, which is an impossible thing not to do, we talked about it a couple weeks ago about how everybody's like, oh, he's Feige. And I believe he's Favreau. Like, whether or not you see Cap as the ultimate story, the reality is the Marvel Cinematic Universe truly revolves around Tony Stark at its core as its launching point in Iron Man 1. And having Gunn set the tone in Superman is really important because while over the course of the 20 some odd projects Marvel's done, the tone has truly varied.
Yeah.
Iron Man 1 has been the foundation. Iron Man 1 and the mood, the universe that is created in that, as when I say universe, I mean specifically like the way human beings react to things that occur.
That style of suspension of disbelief, that way of it.
There's the perfect recipe of magic bean versus reality. That's the foundation for that skyscraper that Marvel has just consistently built on. And every level of that skyscraper, every floor might be a different director designing the layout slightly different or the decor slightly different.
Still on that tower.
It's still on that tower.
Yeah.
And having Gunn, having Gunn come in and do Superman ensures that whoever comes next for lanterns and, all the other shit, like that right there is.
And even if it's not connected, it's still in that universe.
Right.
And like that connection is going to be hopefully more tenuous because I don't want to be looking at every Easter egg and connectivity. I want to be watching these movies and shows.
Right.
That's why I love Peacemaker so much. I wasn't waiting for anyone to show up. I was living in Peacemaker. And that was refreshing.
Fun. It was really fun.
And like, I think that's what we're going to get. And I think that's what Marvel needs to
still moving forward with that second
Peacemaker season 2.
Was it shot already?
I don't think so. I think it's like written, but I don't think it's shot yet. Because that's an actually decently sized cast.
You better hope Mr. Chenna doesn't hurt himself this weekend at WrestleMania.
Oh, he's not going to get to make so much peace if he's overhurt.
He came back for like a one-off Mania match against like a young rising star who's compared to him quite a lot.
Oh, that's fun. So it's Marky Mark versus the Funky Bunch.
But after what happened to The Rock in like 2013 or 14, when he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll come back for a match," and coincidentally enough against Cena, who at the time
was the new hot.
No. Cena had been around for ages at that point, but he was the story that they were telling on screen was great. It was, Rock, you abandoned us for Hollywood. You went and did a movie star. You're not a wrestler anymore. You're not a sports entertainer anymore. You went and did movies. Like, this is no longer. I'm here every week. Like, I'm the guy. I'm speaking as Cena. His whole thing was like, I'm the guy every week who like loves this company, who loves these fans, who loves this business, who loves this type of performing. You went off and did fucking whatever movies you did. And Rock came back. They had a match, and Rock got hurt in their Mania match. And
in real life,
in real life, he got injured, and I'm sure his agents did not like that. The irony now, of course, that here, maybe 10 years? No, maybe not 10. I'm trying to think of what year that was. It's probably 14, 15, 16, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
So nearly 10 years later, at least, he now Cena is off doing Hollywood stuff, and he's coming back.
Oh, that's fun.
But in any case, I digress. Yeah, hopefully he's fine. And
is the new guy like a jorts wearer? Is he got
no? He's like a cocky sort of like he's like what's the generation after millennial? What are you? You're millennial, right?
I'm a millennial.
Yeah.
Gen Z's the next.
Gen Z. So he's like a Gen Zer, sort of cocky.
Got
like
it.
I think I'm, God's gift to.
You're a
industry.
millennial too, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're like in the other end of the spectrum.
I literally I exist in a 3-year micro generation.
Oh.
That some people have called Zennials, like with an X.
Okay.
Because I'm
Gen X
just too, like my brother is Gen X
Sure.
and my siblings are Gen X. I'm just too young to be Gen X. And while technically my birth year is like the first year as a millennial, I don't have the millennial experience because I still grew up in the analog world and I did not have social media throughout my entire schooling. It wasn't until college. So it's like I
got college social media though.
No, you had MySpace, you had stuff in high school.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like all of that, like you had a completely different social interaction in high school.
I think the generations are too long now because of the exponential increase in tech. Like,
yeah,
I don't think
exactly. And that's why
years.
I'm in sort of a microcosm.
Because I would argue like you have a 3-year one probably.
It's like 3 or 4, something
and I probably
like
like a 5 or 6.
Right,
and then there's like probably people that are younger than me that are also technically millennials that are like not going to feel like my generation that are closer to the Z, but not quite.
But
I think it's too long.
But yeah,
now.
I do like just based on the way that they say it, I do get grouped in with millennials, but I don't feel like I had that experience that like even like Alexandra, who's 4 years younger than me. Like I can say that few years is a big difference.
Yeah. Because you're not like you're in between, like you're not that much older than me.
I graduated high school in 2001.
And I graduated in 06.
Right.
So those
but think about
years,
how different 2001 from 2006 was.
Yeah.
Even just as far as like, I mean, Twitter was out in 2006.
But think about 2011. Like the other way, 5 years after me.
Sure.
I just think those generation gaps are.
But we're still using those apps from 2006 and 11.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like in 11 is what I mean.
But in 2011, those people were raised using them, whereas I discovered them. Like I didn't have the internet until I was old enough to actually wield it a bit. I didn't grow up
that's
of it.
personal, probably.
Sure. I mean, to a point, I feel like
because we still had America Online and shit like that. And
that's true. Yeah, and there's also like the generation with like access, like which was what you're saying. So like I didn't have access for a bit.
It's more personal based on family and social
and where you were
like exactly.
But yes, it's just interesting. Where I think those generation links need to change.
Anyways, that was a tangent. But before we move on to, I know we have a couple hotline calls. I just remembered we're talking all about the DC universe.
Yes,
and I just remembered that your friend and mine, Mark Heiliger, who is co-host of The Hell With This, which is a movie podcast on this very network. He's an incredibly talented filmmaker and editor. He works on I almost called it Will Smith show. He worked on like the new Bel Air show as like an editor. He's a really talented filmmaker. He's a great guy. He apparently was recently going through like old storage at his parents' house. So every now and then he just sends a picture to me of like something with like a question mark asking like, do I have a need for this? And generally I say, no, I don't really need tchotchke shit.
Yeah.
But every now and then he says like, I have a box of something. I go, that could be kind of fun for Koicast.
Oh.
He showed up to my birthday gathering last weekend with a bag. Reach over and grab that box. Do you see that white box? It is an entire case.
This is insane. This is insane.
Can you explain what it is? Since you have you can read what it says like verbatim.
Cosmic Cards inaugural edition of DC Hall of Fame. Hologram cards are randomly involved.
Sure.
You can collect 180 of these cards, and they're 12 cards per pack, and it looks like, I don't know, 30 packs, 40 packs.
There's probably an entire set in there.
Probably. We can like over the next few months.
Do you think there's an entire set?
If there's 180 and there's 12 each, and I would say this is at minimum 30. That's 360.
Right.
That's 50-50.
Okay.
I mean, if you know what I mean?
I have an idea.
What do you think?
I think that we, in lieu of one of our regular patron-only pods...
36 packs came in this originally.
Okay, so they're probably still all there.
Could be 36.
Could be 36 what?
As in 36 packs. There could be one or two missing.
Right, yeah. In lieu of one of our patron-only pods, I should just make a quick spreadsheet that just says 001 to 180 and then a little check mark. And we just go through because the cards will be numbered, and I can just check off
as we do this,
and we can just see because we could probably burn through that in like 40 minutes.
I was saying we should do like slow burn,
little by little,
10, like do 10 a month.
Oh wait a minute, yeah.
Like okay, you know what I mean? And
so
then
at
like
the end
over
of the episode,
at the end of the episode we open like
so there's 36 there.
Yeah.
We should open what 2 or 3 packs because that'll take like 6 years.
Yeah, let's do 3 packs.
3 packs
and that way
episode?
it's 12 an episode.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? Like that way,
Yeah. And we'll just check off and we'll see who we get.
over the course of 12 episodes, we will go through this
What
box.
year are those from?
Let's
Is there a
find
year
out.
on them, like on the back?
Okay, looks like they're from 1991. Oh, that gives me such joy. 91 was a good time in comics.
And I want to say,
This is exciting.
you and I struggle with DC characters.
We're going to learn.
Every time somebody has some sort of like game where we go like DC doesn't have the rich well, and then people yell at us. And
180
they go,
cards means at least 150 characters because there might be 30
there's some
doubles and whatnot.
teams, yeah.
We're going to learn at least, I'd say if there's 150, we're going to learn like 40 each.
Sure, of new people that
of
we have no idea who
brand
they
new
are.
people.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
So we have a giant box of 1991's DC Cosmic cards.
Do you want to do our first 3 at the end of this one?
Thanks to that's what I was thinking. Yeah, thanks to Mark Island.
Love
Heiliger.
that. I'm very excited.
That'll be fun.
So let's get some hotline calls because I'm just twitching to open some cards now.
Hey, Coy. Hey, producer Jake. This is Gilbert up in the Bay Area. And Jake, I have to say I have a bit of a bone to pick with you. On the previous episode, you said that for a Superman movie, you wanted it to be a period film because of, I guess, the subject matter. And speaking as a Superman fan, and I mentioned this the last time you guys talked about this, I can't stress enough how that there's nothing I want less in a Superman movie. I don't like the idea of him being stuck in the past. The fact that everyone wants to keep him as Christopher Reeve is another one of those signs. I just feel we need someone, or Superman as someone, as a character who inspires hope, and as an aspirational character, we need that in the modern day. Are there ways you can do it? I do know that in the 70s they briefly updated Lois and Clark to be working as TV reporters. So he could, the Daily Planet could be like an online newspaper or something like that. I don't know, but it's just important to me that we can get a good hope-driven movie set in the modern day, because that is something that we desperately need right now. It's real bad out there, and so that's all. I just want to give you my 2 cents on what you said. Feel free to agree or disagree. That's fine. Y'all have a good week. Bye.
We have plenty of modern day hopeful things. It's called the Marvel Cinematic Universe. No, I joke. But I'm also not joking. I get it. I don't know that it's the way he's like the absolute thing I don't want at all is a period. So are you telling me that you would rather no Superman movie?
He's that against it.
Because it seems like you're being real dramatic here, Gil. First off, if Clark Kent is an on-camera television reporter, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
I don't love that.
Clark Kent could be like a reporter on a newspaper because there's never a photo of him. So it's more believable that like the modern Metropolis citizen doesn't like know what Clark Kent looks like, just knows the name.
Yeah.
Of that era. But
because showing him more and more and more would only make it less plausible the glasses work.
Also, I don't like that he grouped in everybody wants it to be Reeves. Like, no, that's not. I think
those are 2 separate thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think that just because I would like it to be period means that.
See, I want Fantastic Four to be period, but I want Superman to somehow make because I don't think Superman should reflect our world. I think we should reflect Superman and fail at it. Like we should try to be as good as Superman is and not succeed, but try the aspiration to him.
Yeah.
But if we do that in a period piece, it gives people the out that like, well, yeah, when Zack Snyder made it, it's about our world. Like I want people to have that hope.
Yeah, and I understand that completely. Now, here's the thing. Maybe the answer isn't period. When I say that I want something period piece, it could also just be the way that, like, even like a fucking Tim Burton Batman could be 1990 that it takes place in, or it could be
timelessness.
Like there's a level of or animated series is a great example. Yeah. The animated series feels like it's maybe the 40s and 50s,
or
but
in
also
Art Deco
maybe,
of Gotham. Like it's hard to judge when.
Yeah. So, which also, by the way, maybe a big way that you separate yourself from the Marvel machine is like maybe don't make it the universe that we live in.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to, everything.
Especially if you're doing Elseworlds.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be like our modern day technology and our modern day everything. Like,
because I could use some escapism to a bigger scale,
right? And it you can still tell all the same stories and inspire all the same hope. And yeah, I don't know that I think Gil's like absolute love of Superman. He is our biggest Superman fanboy. I think his love of Superman is clouding his ability to not want a very specific Superman movie.
I'm very curious how James Gunn possibly appeases the different types of Superman fans, because he's such an archetypal character who's been around for so many years. You attach to him in different phases. You attach to different types of him. You like, it's going to be very hard to make Superman movie.
All I know is that if at the end he's not killed by Doomsday, and then we have
the first
four,
movie.
and then we have in the first movie. Yep. And then four there, and then we have the Man of Steel come, and then we have that's the only version that I want.
That's the third act. I want all that in one movie.
Yeah.
Like, let's got it. We got to get there.
100%.
And frankly, the post credit scene, if it's not blue and red Superman energy,
100%.
Why are we even here?
Gil, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean, but
I think I want Gil to be happy, but I also want me to be happy. I want you to be happy. That's what's going to be so
it's
hard.
Also, it is also like, I am okay with them just making it like, Superman's around today, but then we need to ditch the origin story. Because even farm boy bullshit doesn't work. Because if he was a farm boy bullshit, he still grew up in the 90s.
Right. I think the origin is not happening. Like, I feel like he's already working at the Daily Planet from the sounds of things. It sounds like he's already met Lois, but it's like about them.
But that's what I'm getting at. What's the Daily Planet? And that's why I'm okay if this world doesn't exist the same way ours.
Right.
If it takes place out there, quote, it's really hard. Modern day.
Right.
But newspapers are still thriving. And they still are talked about. You know what I mean? Like,
even the Amazing Spider-Man in 2000, whatever it was, they tried to make it a .com.
Right.
Like, they didn't ever bring in Jonah, but like he was implied as a internet.
Yeah. And so like, I'm okay if it's modern, but I just think like this is my connection. Okay. One of the reasons why I love Superman, why the character calls to me, is because it is sort of this Americana story about how good old country farm boy is the only reason he didn't become an evil god. Right. And that unfortunately does not work for a kid growing up even in the 90s in the country. Because
different access.
Yeah. Well, also we don't want like Superman who's just obsessed with Garth Brooks. And you know what I mean? Like, it's also, he would probably be like a Second Amendment guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the world we live in that Gil is like desperate to like for them to mirror. His origin is so intrinsically tied to a specific brand, in my opinion, in the same way that like modern day X-Men with Xavier and specifically Magneto.
Yeah.
Like the Holocaust is such a huge part of that story.
Sure.
That you have time stamped it in our reality, which is why I'm petrified of those characters being those characters and not being a version like you and I have talked about.
The Malcolm X.
Pick a different event in history that you can tie these feelings to.
Yeah.
In which case, changing the character. So as long as we if
at this point now, I'm wondering if they do stay, Jewish in nature with how like vitrolic the world is. Like there's a reemergence of Nazism to like a more mainstream level. I'm wondering if there's any like more mainstream stories that like you and I might not know that would allow that parallel.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because
also,
that's very important to that culture.
Yeah, or also like, there's no reason. I know that New York doesn't exist, but there's no reason Superman has to grow up in the country. He could have been raised in a Jewish family in a Brooklyn style setting.
Sure.
You know what I mean? For whatever that metropolis, like a suburb of Metropolis is, and faced that version of,
See, I think the Kansas thing is really important to the mythos in our telling, but I don't know what telling they're going to land on. Like, yeah, he's got his work cut out for him, frankly, no matter what. Yeah. And one of the things he said in that Instagram post was he realized how important the Kryptonian raising of him was, as well as the Kansas raising of him was.
Right.
Like the duality, the dichotomy. And that's what is really intriguing to me is I want to see, a man struggling with two very different upbringings. Like the idea of being adopted, the idea of like your parents being scientists on a planet versus farmers in the middle of nowhere. Like that's all really exciting. It's just like, how do you tell that story today?
Exactly.
2 years. We find out 2025. Hope that answered your question, Gil.
Hey, Coy and producer Jake. It is JD, Jake's nemesis, in case he forgot. Here's what I say. Lee Pace and Luke Evans as Apollo and Midnighter with the Authority movie. That way, we don't have straight actors playing gay roles, and these are honestly one of the first, like, gay superheroes on such big scales. And it fits in with the Cavill almost being too much steering into the skid of Snyderverse. Yeah, I say don't give the chuds anything. And it also turned out that most of those chuds were just Zack Snyder's own, like, Twitter bots. So there is no real Snyderverse. All the Snyderverse stands can get bent. Yeah.
JD out here just dropping anger bombs.
There is no Snyderverse.
Whoa.
There is
well,
no
that's
Snyder.
what we find out on that weekend.
Yeah.
That's the tease. He reveals the bot army. Again,
he pulls off a mask and it was James Gunn the entire time. I love this casting. Luke Evans as Midnighter, Pace as
100%.
as Apollo.
Yeah, that's how I saw it.
Because Luke Evans has more of a beefy, grizzly, like cage fighter kind of vibe to him.
Yeah, whereas Lee Pace has a regality.
Lee Pace is and I don't know what it was, but when I was looking up photos of them, he was in something with like the long. I think it was in Elf and like
recently Lee Pace was in a new horror movie that he's great in, and he's got long hair and he's like a hippie.
Oh, maybe that's what it was, but it was something, and I was like, okay, I could see him being sort of like of the earth,
Right,
and that's sort of
right.
like, which would be great for Apollo.
Yeah, like also the sun god having like regal long flowing hair, godlike,
but
versus cage fighter Midnighter.
But I do actually like this because we have also done the the casting straight people in gay roles, and while that's to me it's not exactly like that, like playing sexuality is not exactly the same as like playing gender in my opinion.
I agree. I struggle with the the level of direct actors can't be what have to be exactly what the role is, because we lost on The Last of Us and Nick Offerman, which is foolish.
I also just think that there's two sides of that coin, because the other one is also like, well, yeah, the gay actors aren't like it's about opportunities.
Sure. Oh yeah, 100%. But you also need to sell the movie.
Yeah,
and
so wait, is that gonna be a movie, The Authority?
Yeah,
I feel like I've asked that question like 6 times.
You're just excited.
I couldn't because he was going back and forth between like
show movie. Yeah, that's one of the movies.
I think it's great casting, JD.
That's really fun.
I think it's a great casting. And I do like the idea of making this movie just as antithesis or as satirical to the Snyderverse.
I think it's going to be within that tone, but
in a way that's like captures what he was trying to do.
I think it's going to be more self-aware.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think
because that's what those characters are. Like I said, it's
The Boys is because The Boys is a reaction to The Authority.
Exactly. But now it is going to be really interesting to see how he handles The Authority in a post The Boys on Amazon world without just doing that show.
Because that show's too big to have anything close to it directly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm The Authority is definitely up there in my like, how are they going to do this? I'm so excited.
Luke Evans and Lee Pace.
That's well real done. Fun. Yeah. I'm about that. Co-signed.
Yeah, I also am. I like the fact that these aren't too like, they're not Henry Cavill.
Sure.
That's the sort of people who I want. I always feel like, I want a new name. I want a fresh face. Like in my opinion, while two successful working actors, not household names.
Right, and I think you still need to sell the movie with, that guy's familiar. Oh, I like him. Like without it being like,
Also, there are plenty of other characters.
Right, they can throw in a Helen Mirren and a Lucy Liu somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think about the Eternals, where it's like, okay, some of these people were not as big as other people, but hey, look, there's Angelina.
Right, exactly. And Angelina Jolie's the biggest name, and she hadn't worked in a while. And everyone else was like, almost everyone else was a recognizable face.
Was from somebody, the guy from that thing or the girl from that thing.
Exactly. And you're excited about that, and you connected them. Like, I really connected with Barry Keoghan before he was like everywhere. Now he's got an Oscar.
Sure.
But or not Oscar nom, apologies. But that, and that was my connection that made me love the movie more. And I want The Authority to have that for a lot of people.
Right.
And again, I want the first gay superhero couple is like a very big deal.
Right.
So I'm very excited to see them lean into that. Everybody's like, there's no way they're gonna do that. I'm like, there's no way James Gunn wouldn't.
Right.
Like I'm not worried about that story not being told at all. That's the story.
Right.
So I'm stoked.
Yeah. I'm into seeing where that one goes. Speaking of, we didn't talk at all about Oscars stuff. I never watch it. I obviously am excited that a bunch of really sweet, great people seem to have won.
Yeah, everything everywhere swept.
Stuff that they dug. I did also see, and I don't know if this was just it was something on the machine as I was just scrolling at some point in the past 2 weeks or whatever it was since we last recorded. a thing that I've been saying for years, which is one of the reasons why I think the Oscars is total fucking bullshit, is like, we can't pretend to be this progressive, we're like Hollywood telling stories about, the underprivileged, and we're telling stories about the blah, blah, blah. And then we are taking this beautiful art and we are judging it harshly. More specifically, we're judging it in the 2 gender categories because there are only the 2.
You just open it up to like best actor and make it like 10?
Well, no. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I don't know, or just don't have Oscars. Anyways,
I love the Oscars.
But what I was going to say
awareness for movies.
I saw something that stated that they're now in consideration of removing the gender categories. Did you see that?
They've been saying that for like 10 years. But,
is that not new?
No.
Was that just like some clickbaity thing that I saw?
I feel like they've been saying like some version of that for a very long time. I just don't know how they'd like. Would you have best actor, best supporting actor, and just have the like 10 like the best picture? I just wouldn't want there to be less opportunity for people like that. That's my only concern. Right. Is like, how do you have the same amount of nominee? Because then you only have 2 winners though. Like you only have best supporting, best, like then you literally have less people get that accolade.
100. I don't disagree, but it's also, there's no right answer to judging art.
Sure.
And it's just like, that's, at some point, do you also change categories by how much budget a movie has? Is there, can you have consideration for major Oscars and then minor Oscars for the movies that can't afford to have Oscar campaigns, or to just to pay to be nominated, because it's really essentially all it is. Like,
and all the tour stuff and like everything else the actors go through, but it's hard because it does get awareness for movies that wouldn't get awareness otherwise. Like I know a lot of people that only watched Banshees once it was nominated.
Of course, and I totally understand that, and it's like that is sort of the exception, not the rule.
Right. No, and the commodification of art is always dangerous. Like it's something you and I have talked about at length. Like that was one of the first things in the show we talked about was I've been bred into this word content.
Yeah.
And it's so dangerous. And I've had to consciously work on that. And I think I've improved by exponentially. And like looking at art is one of the things I pride myself on being able to enjoy versus commodify or critique or whatnot. But how do you raise awareness without judging it? How do you raise awareness without making it a pass-fail system? Like Rotten Tomatoes is positive and detrimental. And so like what I try to do is just be a person that praises things, but then something like Quantumania comes out and I'm like, ooh, if I celebrate mediocrity, we'll get more mediocrity. But then something like Shazam comes out, which people are just mad at and consider mediocre, but I didn't think was. So now I'm getting called a DC shill, which has been very funny lately because I'm like, look at my Twitter. Look at the amount of Marvel shilling I've been called. So it's a really hard line to walk with the way our system is set up.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough and weird, but I'm bummed that you say, oh yeah, they've been saying that for 10 years. Because I thought I was like, oh,
maybe it's more serious. Did you see it on like Deadline or something?
I don't remember. Let me see. Let me do it.
Because it's not been taken seriously enough to be a major headline, but it's been one of those things that like people have lobbied for that hasn't got anywhere.
Right.
So you could have seen it evolve, which would be nice.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm hoping to reinflate your sales because maybe it's bigger than I'd seen.
Yeah, I mean, I see obviously a lot of, I see a lot of like opinion op-eds about this is why they should do it,
right?
This is why they are,
and that's what
it.
I've read is the op-eds of like the opinion based stuff, not like this is happening based stuff.
Yeah, it says like so. Obviously, like the Spirit Awards has ditched it, which is fantastic. Yeah, I'm trying to find something. This is
also wondering, like, with the Spirit Awards, did they have more? Do they have 4 wins now? Like, how do they do that? Those are my questions.
There can only be one best actor.
That's tricky.
And in that phrase, I mean,
sure, that's why I've been saying 10.
Every,
one who acts.
Also, like, there. By the way, if you're not aware, I don't want to say that. I'm speaking generally. I know a lot of women who are my peers and cohorts who hate being called an actress. There is like, the go-to example is like, you don't say hi doctress when your doctor walks in and is a female.
Right.
And while we still hang on to some things like waiter and waitress and stuff like that, there are some like gender specific.
Even that's gotten less. I think server is what I think of.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like those things went the wayside. Yeah, but those things have gone by the wayside years ago. I mean,
Sure.
we've been saying male person, or instead of police or what's the phrase instead of policeman?
Pig.
Yeah, Ganesh man,
It's gender neutral.
Anyways, but like it's one of these things where, like I said, like Hollywood, it's all of these people preaching all of these like.
Well, it's so hard about this
progressive-
town
yeah.
we live in is like it's very purple. Like people think of it as blue,
Right,
but like
no.
if there's
It's
money
because
in
there's
it,
a lot of rich people.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If there's money in it, it's purple.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot harder for the biggest stuff. Like Spirit Awards can change a lot easier than the Oscars can.
Right.
And
sure,
that's
of
why
course.
I'm like because there's way more money in the Oscars. And look at what happened to the Golden Globes. Like the Hollywood Foreign Press is a very messy organization.
So, what they've done for something like the SAG Awards is they've introduced additional categories for like breakthrough and like stuff like that, where it's sort of
Golden
like
Globes does
sort of like the
comedy.
way that the MTV Awards used to be.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it was always my favorite movie.
Oh, same, dude. Best kiss.
Yeah,
Best,
it's
like crowd
honestly,
favorite, like shit like that.
stuff like that.
You could also, I think, it's comedy, musicals, one category, dramas another in the
we
Globes.
also need to ditch like the comedy is too broad nowadays.
Right.
Like as far as the stuff that's
Like what is comedy?
I remember like when Cats and I don't know, something that was better that year were grouped into the same category.
Rough.
Like, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, looking at this and it's ever evolving and it's not going to happen overnight, but it is intriguing.
Yeah.
I think that was our last hotline call this week. So we got more next week.
Yeah. That was it for this week. Do you want to, I made a spreadsheet for our DC
You want to start it up? Also, there's
fire up
something
some
on your
tickets?
desk we should
What?
probably talk about.
Oh, I haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh,
but,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that. The thing underneath this.
Yeah,
thing.
this is what I was
Oh,
talking
okay.
about.
Because that's beautiful.
I have not gotten to it yet, but a huge thanks to Doug McKinney. You might know him better as Darth Vadad, for sending me some Mr. Miracle Deluxe Edition for my birthday. It's been sitting on my
Stunning
desk
edition.
here. Yeah, it's shiny and pretty, and I can't afford to crack this open. This will be coming with
is
me
it going on the
on
trip?
our road trip. Yeah, so I have my bag. I have like 2 books and 3 like hardcover graphic novels.
That is
I wanna
in the
bring.
top 10 books I've been most excited to talk to you about since we started this show. So when you get back, like that might be like half an episode.
I'm not gonna lie. I've heard that it was good, but like, but I also know that a lot of these quotes are all bullshit. But anyways, all of the like quotes on the back about the book from like all of the different, from GQ and Vulture
Sure.
and Hollywood Reporter, they're all very like, oh, this book sounds like my shit, like
Yeah.
more so than I even thought it was.
Well, and that's what's impressive is they got outside comic people to go like, I think this is a comic I'll read.
Right.
And that's why that book is one of the gateway books I always recommend to people, because it's not just for comic fans. It's a good way to show people like the medium's not what you think it is. And
Right.
it's so inventive and creative.
right.
It's genius.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Tom King, Mitch Gerards, 2 of the best in the game. All right, what covers do you want?
So anyway, so I made our little spreadsheet. And
Okay.
I have numbers 1 through 180, and we'll just make a little check mark
Love it.
so we could see what cards we're still missing, and I'll write the names of who we got on each one. So if we're gonna do
We're gonna do 3.
three
I'm
at a
just
time?
seeing. Yeah, I think 3 is a good number because 36 would be the
Sure,
goal.
sure.
It looks like there's 4 covers I've discovered so far: Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Superman, and looks like Deathstroke.
Do you maybe every episode we just pick one and we do like 3 Wonder Womans?
Oh, that's a fun idea. Okay, let's do
because we can't divide 4 by 3.
That's
even.
not math. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 Green Lanterns this week.
All right, 3
We're gonna
lantern
kick
packs.
off with 3 lantern packs.
1991 this is?
Yeah, dude, I was 3.
You and I are going to enjoy this more than anybody else.
This is so specific for us.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
a visual medium.
Yeah, no, fantastic.
Okay.
You're going to throw one at me and then you can open 2. I'll open 1.
Yeah,
Go
or
ahead.
we could do open one together. I'm gonna split the
No,
deck.
no.
You
Oh,
got-
I see. Oh, I got you.
So that
Yeah,
way
yeah.
you're looking through it.
Good call.
Okay, so 1 each at first. Both Hal Jordan Green Lanterns. 2 of 3. Oh, okay. My first one is one of my favorites, and what's great is she is a fixture of the book you just got.
Oh, okay.
I got Granny Goodness,
Granny Goodness.
who I love dearly.
What's the card number?
This is Granny Goodness, appears to be card number 132.
All right, the very first one.
She's taller than I
132.
thought.
Granny Goodness.
5'10". Granny Goodness. I mean, New Gods are beasts, but I had no idea.
She had a tiny little role in Zack Snyder's Justice League,
She,
right?
in fact, did. I want her to be played by Margot Martindale and James Gunn's.
Oh, I could see that. I
Right?
like that. Granny Goodness.
Boom shakalaka.
Card 132.
Yep. Who you got?
Oh, I see. We're gonna go
Wanna
back
go
and
back
forth.
for it? Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do technically doing 2. All right, let me see. Let me open this bad boy.
Because aren't we
Alrighty.
doing 3?
No, yeah, you're
Okay.
right. You're right. Okay, so Earth's mightiest villains, Phobia. I have no idea who this is, but she looks like Maleficent, or doesn't she look like one of the Disney witches?
villains for sure.
Let's see, card number. Where did you see the card? Oh, there it is.
On the back. Yep.
103.
Nice.
So listen, 2 cards, no doubles already. Well, I thought it would be really funny if
it just immediately have grainy goodness.
The first 2 cards were a double. Phobia. I don't know anything about this character. The artwork on the back is very 90s. She chills to the very bone. A mutant psychic. I believe you. Her fellow members of the Society of Sin. Do you even know what that is?
Society of Sin I've heard of, but I don't know. Like, it's just a name.
There it is. Phobia. By the way, I like on the back. Is the one you said? Is it called the Identikit?
No.
No, it's not Identikit.
I got DC Q&A at the bottom.
Oh, okay. I just thought it was weird that instead of they're trying to make it seem like this is the
it is Identikit. Yeah.
What
I do have
weird
that.
Identikit.
Is that a play on something in the 90s?
Or is that something from one of the comics and someone's yelling at us?
Must be.
All right, so Phobia was 103.
I got Silver Age Wonder Woman as my next one. Specifically, Silver Age means I think there will be multiple Wonder Women.
Oh, right. We didn't think about that. There's going to be a lot of different versions of.
So Silver Age Wonder Woman is number 20.
Oh, card number 20. Do you think that they're in order of popularity?
Which is funny because I definitely know Grainy Goodness way better than Phobia.
Silver Age Wonder Woman, card number 20.
And she is apparently 5'9", which means she is shorter than Grainy Goodness, a thing I would not have thought.
Yeah, not really an Amazon.
Not so Amazonian. I've dated much taller women. That is not an Amazonian height. But maybe in the Silver Age she wasn't.
I also have a Silver Age. Card number 5 in the list is Flash, Barry Allen.
Oh.
It just says Flash, but Silver Age Flash, they call him.
Beautiful.
Card number 5. Oh, that's cool. And it tells you in the top right what the first appearance is. Is that what that is?
I think so.
I don't have as much light over here. Oh, here we go.
That's fair.
There we go. Oh, look at that. I have light now. Great. Fantastic.
We're taking longer on this. Maybe we should do 2 a week.
Yes, hang on a second. Did Barry Allen's Flash costume come out of his ring?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
That's why in the movie it's so exciting for us, because like the ring is like such a thing for the comic.
I literally just saw it in the back. It's
that's so exciting.
His ring and costume. I had never knew
It literally pops out of the ring. That's where he stores it. So like that's why in the trailer it was such a big pop moment.
That's science right there.
That's how it works.
Great.
Okay, I got Villains from Beyond. I think that's the category.
That's like the name of the card?
The top right says Villains of Beyond. Oh wait, no, hold on. So it looks like the top right is an imprint, like an archetype.
Right. That's like the category.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So the character is Yuga Khan, who I definitely don't know.
Yuga Khan?
I've never heard this in my life.
What's the card number?
141. There are some things man is not meant to know. So learned Yuga Khan, former monarch of the planet Apocalypse, much like knowing Yuga Khan, whose misguided attempts to unravel the unknowable mystery of the Source left him a helpless captive for countless thousands of years. Using his planet-reading power, Khan eventually freed himself and even ousted his son Darkseid from the throne. So he's Papa Darkseid.
Oh, Darkseid Daddy.
Darkseid Daddy.
What card number is this?
141.
And you said Yuga? Y-U-G-A?
Y-U-G-A Khan.
K-H-A-N?
Yeah.
Yuga Khan is Darkseid Daddy?
Darkseid Daddy.
I also have a Villains from Beyond.
We're learning today.
Card 131. Oh, right next to Granny Goodness. We have 2 back-to-back.
Nice.
We have Glorious Godfrey. Do you know this character?
Gilbert Godfrey's dad?
He has a mind control helmet. Apparently. I don't know who this is. Oh, he's Darkseid's hand-chosen Duke of Domination. With the guidance of his
alliteration there.
So you know what? I bet you... Because it's right next to Granny Goodness. I bet you there is some organization to this.
I think so.
Because if we have, Darkseid's people.
That's what I think. It's like an imprint, right? Because I've got 141 is also a Villain of Beyond.
Glorious Godfrey.
All right. I have the final card. I have number 180.
We got the last one on the list.
It is in fact Checklist B.
Oh, we got a checklist card. Wait, don't look at it. They'll spoil all of the things.
Oh, that's true. But that also means checklist A is probably 179.
Checklist B. Oh, that's so funny.
Very excited by checklist card.
You know what? If we were actually like kids opening cards and you got that in your first pack, I would be like, that's great.
Oh, now you know what to hunt for.
That's fantastic.
But we're not going to look.
No.
But I love that.
Yeah, you're right. Start checking it off.
And I'll actually do it.
Yeah.
We could check this card. We have the power.
We don't, but we're going to save it. Number 38. Ooh, he made the top 40. But I thought it would be higher than that. Booster Gold.
Oh, my boy.
Series. Card 38, Booster Gold.
It's curious, like, what 1991 Booster Gold popularity was versus what he's about to become.
Right.
Like, he'll be top 10 soon, guaranteed.
Right. All right.
Number 96. We got one of my favorites because it's impossible the character is as cool as he is. Gorilla Grodd.
Gorilla Grodd is great. Gorilla Grodd. Is there 2Ds in Grodd?
There is.
That's what I thought.
He is 6'6", 600 pounds of gray and black gorilla.
Okay, here's a character that I actually knew. Card number 40, Changeling.
Oh.
He's this little guy who can literally turn into things.
Look at the little guy.
The little green guy.
Yeah.
He looks like a Nightcrawler, but he turns into like spiders and shit.
Yeah, I always got him confused with Beast Boy growing up. But
Changeling.
not anymore.
That was card number 40, Changeling. So far, no doubles, which is great. Who do you got?
I've got Great Battles, which I think is going to be our next imprint.
Oh.
I've got War of the Gods.
Is it our first horizontal card?
It is, and it's 168. We got a horizontal. We're mixing it up. I used to hate these when I'd have to turn my whole book of cards.
I like stats of a person. I don't want a scene.
Nope, I don't want to tell me the story.
No, just show me
but
the card.
I'd turn my whole book to read them. I'm like, come on, what do you want from me?
All right, 168. What was it called? What's the card?
War of the Gods.
War of the Gods. And
little worried because underneath it says card C. I'm wondering if there are different versions of that. Why?
No. Do you want to know why?
What is
because it makes a big picture, I bet, when you put them all next to each other. What? So
let's hope.
What is the who's on it?
Oh, we got Shazam.
Okay.
With Superman and Wonder Woman. That's a cool trio.
Oh, all right. So it's quite a war of the gods.
Vengeful eyes ablaze, the world's defenders set out to avenge the Earth's murder as the greatest superheroine. Oh, so Wonder Woman died. But can they act in time to save the space-time continuum from total destruction? Not without Wonder Woman, who is magically reborn at the hands of the Greek gods and must set matters all right before time runs out. As Earth trembles from the strain of battle, Captain Marvel, which is Shazam, is released from the Romans' control and joins forces with the Amazon princess to free the world from the last of its would-be gods. Soon, the wounds of the Earth goddess Gaia begin to heal as the superheroes breathe a great sigh of relief, for the War of the Gods is finally over. We learned a lot just now.
Dramatic. So I just found card number 118.
Okay.
Not listed as Green Lantern, but listed as Kilowog.
Oh, specific Green Lantern.
It just says Kilowog. I feel like it should say Kilowog and then parenthetical Green Lantern.
He's earned it.
They're all Green Lantern. Every one of them.
Every one of them Green Lantern.
Who else you got?
I've got her blade can be trusted. Katana.
What number?
She is number
she?
61.
Holy crap. Sorry, I was looking ahead at my thing and I just got a holy crap. 61?
61.
61.
First appearance was 1983. That surprised me. I didn't know she'd been around that long. Katana.
83?
It was
just
83.
Like me.
Yeah,
the same age. Katana and I are the same age.
Now you know. In fact, she is July of 83. You are a tiny bit older.
In our first two packs, we have card 180, the last in the list, checklist B, and card number 1.
Oh, you got number 1? What do you got?
All right, who do you think card number 1 of a DC pack would be?
It has to be Superman.
It's not.
What?
Keep going.
Batman?
No.
Wonder Woman?
No.
Green Lantern?
Who else has movies coming out? No.
Blue Beetle?
Yes.
What?
So, by the way, I got Blue Beetle and Booster Gold in one pack. Yeah, Blue Beetle. Card number 1.
Was he popular in 91?
Maybe it's just alphabetical? Is there
There's got to be A's.
Aquaman, never mind. Yeah.
What a thing.
For some reason, and by the way, Blue Beetle in this specific artwork looks like Phantom. Remember?
Oh, yes. That's a weird era Blue Beetle because I don't recognize that at all. Is that Ted Cord on the back?
It is Daniel Garrett.
Okay.
Oh, Golden Age Blue Beetle.
That's why I don't recognize the art or the name. I don't know that dude.
Golden Age Blue Beetle.
That's exciting.
I didn't
See,
notice.
This is us learning shit. I didn't know that guy's name.
Oh, wait, I got to write Golden Age on there. I can't forget.
No, that's a big difference.
So I bet you all of the first few cards are like golden and silver because Silver Age Flash was 5.
It's definitely going back. Because Ted Cord's not even in the Blue Beetle movie. It's the newest Blue Beetle.
Yeah. The younger.
Yeah, like Cholo's playing. Yeah. All right, I got one of my favorite villains. When he's written well, he's awesome. When he's written poorly, he's hilarious.
Give me the card number first so I could find the
105.
Number. Okay.
Psycho Pirate.
Psycho Pirate?
Do you not know Psycho Pirate?
I have no idea what the fuck is Psycho Pirate.
Oh, dude, he is so much fun. Okay, so Psycho Pirate, I'll read you just his brief little blurb here.
Can you show me the picture? Okay, yeah, he looks like a pirate who's psychotic.
It's psychotic, that's the man. Terror, rage, greed, and lust. These are but a few of the sensations wielded like weapons by the Emir of emotions known as the Psycho Pirate. Using the mystical Medusa mask, the pirate can roll a stew of intense emotions in Earth superheroes, causing their own anguish or cowardice to turn his foes into their own worst enemies. He's dope.
I mean, it sounds like it's a thing that I want to do.
It's like Scarecrow, but like times all emotions.
Right.
He's a fucking rad one, dude. Psycho Pirate's a fave.
All right, so I have a character that I do not know.
Okay.
That is 100% Daredevil.
Oh, is he blind?
Look, I'm just gonna show you the artwork.
Okay.
Can you see that?
That is Yellow Daredevil. That is confirmed Daredevil.
A character named Gangbuster. Have you ever heard of Gangbuster?
Nope, I do not know.
He has he's literally using like nunchucks, but there's a very long cable in between the two staffs, kind of like Daredevil's thing.
Yep.
He's wearing yellow and red, and it's tight.
That's
this
Daredevil.
Is one of those,
parallel villain heroes.
Gangbusters, nunchaku, and what does
He's
that
even
say?
a ninja?
I guess so, yeah.
That's
Nunchucks and taser. Oh, he's got a taser. I couldn't read what it said there. Jose Delgado is the character's name.
All right, sure.
His first appearance was Adventures of Superman, number 434 in 1987. Yeah.
All right.
Gangbusters.
Gangbuster. See, I got
idea.
a card that I would have made the number one because this looks like a number one and it's got the vibe of a number one.
Superman.
And it's the classic
the
cover.
classic him.
And it's beautiful. Like, this is a beautiful card.
That is gorgeous. Looking.
And this is number 177. This is the near penultimate.
Is it? But it's because it's not a card of Superman. Is it a card of a Superman
comic? It is
comic?
classic cover Superman number one.
That's what it is.
So at the end, we're going to get some classic covers.
So
but this is where I'd start.
Yeah,
this
classic
is gorgeous.
cover Superman number one.
1990. Oh, this hurts me. Oh my God, if I had a time machine. 1991 Overstreet price guide value for Superman number one. Guess how much in near mint?
In 99.
In 91.
91. What year is the original thing from?
1939. Yeah, 1939.
I mean, $250,000? I don't know. Is that too much?
47,000.
Wait, that little?
That little.
50,000?
Can you imagine? This book's worth millions today. That
yeah, I said $250,000 thinking I was on the low side.
$47,000.
That's pretty surprising.
I throw this on, get a time machine, throw this on 3 credit cards. You're a millionaire.
Throw this on 3 credit.
I mean, let's be real about it.
Yeah, that's really
insane.
surprising.
That's maybe my biggest jarring moment from this whole undecking.
Okay. Sorry, I was adding numbers here so I could do some easy research there. All right. All right, we have another great battle.
Okay, who you got?
Card 161 is, let's see, where you at? 161 is the Great Darkness Saga.
Ooh.
I don't even okay, I see Dark Side.
That makes sense for Darkness.
Darkseid. And then a bunch of just miscellaneous villainous characters coming from a planet. Do you recognize?
Darkness.
You could take this card. I don't know do you recognize any of those people? I don't recognize any of them.
The most 90s set of people ever assembled.
Right?
They're just broad shoulders, leather jackets, and spikes.
Right. Seriously.
I don't know any of these people.
Pouches and pockets and spikes.
That's not correct.
And it's called the Great Darkness Saga. I'm sure
Gil's yelling right
at
now
us.
in this moment.
The Great Darkness Saga. Whatever you say.
We got number 93. We have Dr. Polaris.
Just made it in there right before the end of the thing. 93.
93, Dr. Polaris. Much like Polaris in the Marvel thing, he is a maleficent master of magnetism. Sounds a lot like Polaris. It's just you put doctor in front of it and you're cool.
There is something about doing this where we're gonna start seeing how much comic book both companies have all the same characters. Yeah, they're
100%.
both exactly the same.
There's only so many powers you can invent.
Alrighty, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, card number 56. We have what I originally read as Hank Woman, but it actually says Hawk Woman.
That makes more sense.
I'm 40. My eyes are gone. Hawk Woman in a pretty terrible art like this. Look at the lack of detail in her face. It almost seems like it almost seems like a Birdman from a bird person.
Not a great detail. Not great work there. Great character though.
Card number 56, Hawk Woman.
All right, my penultimate card is card number 54. Still no dupes, but we're lining up pretty nice. This might be my second favorite card of the deck. It is the Great Guy Gardner. And the art is him with a Green Lantern yo-yo hitting a kid in the face. It's very Guy Gardner. He's literally
is it just listed as Guy Gardner?
Yep, no Green Lantern. He doesn't get the title.
So they just give them.
So Green Lantern's Hal Jordan in here.
Yes. Or it's just going to be
named.
called Hal Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your last card?
My last card is card number 122. So there we go. We did. How many were in each one? What did it say it was?
12.
So that's 24 and no doubles in our first pack so far. It's Metron.
Ooh.
No idea, but it does look very much like a combination of Magneto and Professor X
Okay.
in some sort of big giant chair called the Mobius chair. It's
I know the
Mobin
Mobius
time.
chair. It is Mobin time.
Yeah, 122.
Mobius is the Mobius chair. I think is based off the artist Mobius with that very intricate sci-fi style.
New God. He's considered a new. He's from the New Gods #1 in 71.
You're about
it's
to
crazy
love the
how
New
many
Gods way
old.
more.
It's crazy how many like old characters there are that you go like, nope.
That missed me 50 years ago.
122 Metron.
And my last card is 152.
Wait, how did you get one more card than me? Well, you started, didn't you?
I don't know. Oh, maybe they didn't count the checklist.
Oh, so did you have 13 cards in there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No. I don't know how that happened.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 13. Unless I don't know. We're both dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, I have 12. I just counted wrong.
Well, my last one.
Sure.
152 is Millennium, which is a 1 through 8 storyline from 1988, which is a little early for the Millennium, but I guess they were starting to get worried. It is the Spectre and the Suicide Squad unite to destroy the Justice League. That's exciting.
It's card what card?
Millennium.
No, I'm sorry. What number?
152.
152. And so it's just called Millennium.
Yeah, I think it's a comic run. Great Battles, Millennium,
So
1 through 8.
Millennium.
January to February 1988, my birth year.
Interesting. It seems like maybe the Great Darkness Saga and War of the Gods. That's 161 and 168. The card you got is 152.
Probably starts.
There's probably like 20 cards of the 180
of story.
Are like story.
Yeah. I'm really intrigued by as we assemble the different little patches. All right, well, that is going to do it for this week's episode. This little extra long episode. We're doing to do 2.
I'm still very curious to how you started and ended.
Maybe you did 2 in a row.
Are you sure you named them all?
I did. I just looked at them. We got 12.
Phobia, Flash, Glorious Godfrey, Booster, Changeling, Kolowog. Oh, because I forgot one.
Oh, well, that would do it.
I skipped one.
That would do it.
I was so excited about Gangbuster.
I mean, aren't we all?
I skipped the character that my favorite comic book creator, Rob Liefeld, built his whole career off of. Deadshot.
I mean,
number
the
91
joke is Deathstroke, but I see what you did there.
91. Deadshot. Now this is very 90s artwork.
Oh, good God.
Because there's like he's shooting at the quote camera.
He's such a major character to like just skip in the deck, which is funny. Deadshot's not like a random battle. Like I love that Deadshot almost got omitted.
Yeah, Deadshot 91.
Deadshot might never miss, but Jake did.
I don't think I realized how old his first appearance was in 1950.
I did not know that.
His first appearance ever was Batman number 59.
Dude, Deadshot's almost 75.
July of 1950.
Yeah. That's 75 years ago, 73 years ago.
Crazy. Deadshot number 91.
I had no idea Deadshot was 75 years old almost.
We're almost, listen, that was 24 out of 180, so we only have 166
Strap
more to
in
go.
with us, listeners.
If we get a whole set,
dude,
I'm
so happy.
I think maybe we have a contest and we send it to
that's
somebody.
fun. That's a really fun idea. In 9 months when we get through this.
Or somebody's gonna get a set of 76 cards because we'll be missing.
From now on, we only get doubles.
It'll be just a few of them.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we should do like a raffle or something.
Yeah, we'll do something fun.
I love that. All right, well, that's gonna do it for this week's episode. We'll figure out the raffle in the 9 months. We unbox these 2 at a time, reading every single card. This is great. We'll see you back in 2 weeks. As we've been doing, we're gonna do 2 more cards that week, and we're gonna get some more hotline calls. And that was just a blast. We'll see ya in 2, and thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and thank you, as always, to comic books and trading cards for existing.
Hi, this is Jake Lloyd Bacon, founder of Dragon Wagon Radio, and it's that time of the year again. Dragon Wagon Radio celebrates its 6-year anniversary. Over the last half dozen years, Dragon Wagon has produced 20 different podcasts and over 1,600 individual episodes, all completely free to you, the listener, on every major podcast platform there is. And we want to ensure that the next 20 podcasts and the next 1,600 episodes stay free always. But we're a small independent network, and we need your support to do so. So, I ask you please take just a moment of your day today and visit dragonwagonradio.com/support. Watch the short video there to learn more about what DWR is, how it came to be, and the various ways that you can show your support during this, our 6-year anniversary celebration. Thanks to everyone who listens, subscribes, reviews, follows, and more. The community we have cultivated continues to be the best part of Dragon Wagon Radio.
It's Dragon Wagon.